Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansky. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, as y'all know, there was a pretty big game in the NBA yesterday. Very entertaining game. Well, it was entertaining depending on who you ask, right? But I thought the Lakers were going to win that game the way that they were holding on to that lead. But then the Denver Nuggets just basically said no. And Jamal Murray said, to hell with all of that. We're going for the jugular. And the Denver Nuggets ended up snatching a game 2 and going up 2-0 against the Lakers as the series shifts towards LA, I believe on Saturday, right? So this morning I was kind of going through the news, seeing what people were saying. And I was listening to one of the shows on ESPN, and it was called Get Up. And they had a pretty broad panel. And during the show, there was one gentleman whose name escapes me at the moment. He was on there basically saying that, listen, guys, LeBron is not what he used to be. I mean, he just couldn't deliver the way we expected him to do. And what ended up happening was the minute he started saying that, all of a sudden you could see it started irritating people like Kendrick Perkins, people like Brian Windhorst, and they all started like kind of ganging up on him like, yo, bro, what are you saying? And I thought it was a pretty interesting piece of television. So what we want to do is we want to play this exchange. It has various parts. So I want you guys to listen to it in its entirety, and then we're going to come back and really unpack this thing. Take a listen to that there.
And yes, his numbers are there. Yes, his defense is there. The guys are going to fight back on me on it. But I'm talking about just what I saw with my eyes. I saw a guy, look right there, just didn't have enough energy to just get up to the rim. We see him miss a breakaway dunk. We're seeing him defend it easily going to the basket when he used to be an absolute freight train going to the basket. And with every other day, you wonder, is the battery drained? And can he fill it back up again? He can give him one performance, but night after night, what we're used to seeing from LeBron James, I don't think we're ever going to get to see again. So for me, it was the first time I was reminded, and I've never noticed it before, but I was reminded for the first time that he is 38 years old. And as he walked off the court, you could see Father Time put his arm around his shoulder and say,
man, you are asking for trouble.
Perk, what do you think, man?
What up, Perk? Alan, stop. Just stop. Stop for a second. You have to really be out your mind if you think last night LeBron James showed us Father Time is catching up with him. That was not the case. We have to look at what the Lakers are asking him to do. He's getting nothing from his point guards. D'Angelo Russell has been a complete no-show. Dennis Schroeder has been a complete no-show in the first 2 games. You're asking LeBron James to run the point forward at 38 years of age. He had to guard Jokic at points of time last night. That weighs on you. The guy's 7 foot, 280 pounds. So you're asking him to do that. I mean, damn. Anybody would be gassed. A 28-year-old would be gassed if you're asked to do this much because others are not stepping up to the plate. Now listen, did he settle last night and did he shoot the ball horrible from the 3? Yes. But as far as looking old, I didn't see that. I saw a guy that was landing all out on the line, was required to do a lot because his teammates are not stepping up to the plate.
Perk, you just made my case for me. Thank you. I appreciate all of that because now we're holding LeBron James to everybody else's standard. Any other player would have been tired. It's LeBron James, not any other player. And he never used to be like that. I'm holding him to his standards.
Yeah, I thought it was a winning performance from LeBron last night. He had 22 points, and the three-point shooting was bad. He had 10 assists. He had 4 steals. He had 2 blocks. Jokic was 0 of 5 with 3 turnovers when he was directly guarded by LeBron. That was the big emphasis by Darvin Ham, was to put LeBron on Jokic with sort of Anthony Davis as the backstop. I agree that in 2016, he might have scored 37 points in addition to that. Mm-hmm. So he does need help. He is that chart that we showed where his shooting is falling off, that is an indication of him resting on offense while he's pouring it out on defense.
So when I watched that game, when that game ended, the first thought I had was, man, that's the first time. So you talk about settling, right? Settling for threes. He doesn't drive the basketball as much as he used to anymore. He's under 10 drives per 100 possessions. His worst before that was 15 per 100. So he's really not driving the basketball. What's a reason for that? It's not just defense. It's also the idea that I just don't have it in the tank to keep driving this basketball.
That reminds me a little bit of when Klay Thompson came back from a torn ACL and a torn Achilles, and 2 months in, people were like, he's not the same guy. Look at Klay Thompson.
What injury did LeBron have? Except for being 38.
He's played the second most minutes
Okay.
in the history of basketball, and he's 38 years old. You're like, well, he looks a little old.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. He looks a little old.
Okay,
Because he is
so
a
you
little
agree.
old. He had a triple-double almost, and he guarded the guy who is literally unguardable for half the game.
You keep making, everybody makes my case for me, but says that I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's like saying, Zach, you're 45. You look 45. Yeah, no kidding. I'm 45. I'm not the same guy anymore. That's just like, what are we doing?
So you heard the exchange there. First of all, I think it's important that I say this. Brian Windhorst, what kind of clown ass take was that? LeBron was playing winning basketball. That was a winning performance. Bro, what exactly are you? You see, this is the reason. This is the reason why a lot of people don't take us seriously in sports media when we go out there and say this type of nonsense. How in God's name did LeBron have a winning performance? Did you watch the game? Did you watch? Forget about the 1 or 2 layups that he had towards the end of the game that made it look like he had a good box. And listen, I'm not here to beat up on LeBron. I'm really not interested. What I don't like is what Brian Windhorst just said. We saw the game. Don't spit in our face and tell us it is raining. We all saw the game. LeBron shot 47% from the field. That's a very deceptive 47% because he got a lot of those buckets in garbage time. Well, not garbage time, but towards the end of the game when really the game was not really in doubt. And the Denver Nuggets were having some mental blunders out there. He went 0 of 6 from the 3. 0 of 6. Those are 6 missed opportunities from the 3. You cannot sit down and tell me that if a guy goes 0 of 6 from the 3, he was playing winning basketball. Cut it out. This, and I need to say this. This is what annoys a lot of people with some of you guys. I have zero interest in beating up on LeBron today. I'm just not interested in doing it. But what I don't like is when you now try to retroactively go back and skew history to fit some type of narrative. No, he didn't. If he did, they would have won the game, so he didn't. Like, just say a loss is a loss and let's move on. Let's move on. Now, back to the larger point here, which is this. I thought it was interesting that the panel basically ganged up on the one guy because he basically said, hey, LeBron doesn't look, and funny enough, what he said, I don't think it was disrespectful. LeBron is 38 years old. So I don't know what a lot of people were expecting. So for him to say that, I think he was just pointing out the obvious. That's why he kept on saying, you're making my point. I don't understand what all of the hoopla is all about. You guys are making my point. So for them to get upset, it's like, how dare you even say that? So what the hell do you expect them to do? You expect him to go up there and start twerking it up all over the place for you? No. He's going to go up there. He's going to give you his opinion, and that's it. But the way they started ganging up on him, and then Kendrick Perkins went off talking about some other stuff that only him and the good Lord in heaven knows what he was talking about. It's like, come on. Like, let's just keep it real. No one is disrespecting LeBron. He's just giving an honest take. And this is coming from someone that has absolutely zero interest in criticizing LeBron James. As a matter of fact, we put up a poll on our channel today asking our audience if they even wanted us to cover him. Because I'm not interested in beating up on LeBron today. I'm really not. Like, it's stale at this point. So these are my thoughts, right? I thought it was a pretty heated or pretty contentious exchange there. They all ganged up on him, but I think he told the truth. And what Brian Windhorst was saying, I didn't appreciate that. Don't do that to us. Just stop. Just stop. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and we catch you guys on the next show. Peace.